Welcome to another episode of the Coach's Corner. We are here, of course, at the Tivoli Tap House, where they have great food and, of course, great beer. I'm Catherine Neitenbach, joined here with Brenda Vazquez. Brenda, how's it going? How was your last week?
It's going good. I mean, I didn't do much, but it was good.
Yeah, not too busy? Kind of still getting back into it?
My schedule is pretty busy, even though I don't have like many classes, but my schedule is super busy.
Super busy schedule. Well, Brenda, can you let us know who we have coming on tonight?
So first, we're going to bring in head track and field coach Janis Christopher to talk about how their season is going, how their outdoor season is going, and then the softball team took part in the park play at home this past weekend. So Coach Van will come to tell us about how things went. And then staying with the softball theme, we'll get to know freshman phenom Rebecca Gonzales, who's having an incredible first season with the squad.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be an exciting episode.
Yes.
And when it's heating up here in downtown Denver, it is heating up for our spring sports. So we're going to look forward to talking about that. But before we do that, let's catch the audience up on what happened this past weekend in Roadrunner sports. Our softball team hosted pod play this past weekend. Lainey Shepard connects for the Grand Slam in Game 1 against Black Hills State. The Roadrunners scored 7 runs in the 6th inning to win by an 8-5 final. Then it was the right arm of Darby McGee who kept the RMAC's preseason favorite Dixie State team to just 1 run on Sunday. MSU Denver split the weekend and are now 14-10 in conference play.
The men's and women's tennis team hosted Colorado Mesa on Friday afternoon. The women's were led by Tabitha Porter, who not only won her #1 singles match, but she paired up with Mackenzie Hotan to win her #2 doubles match as well. The Roadrunners made a quick work on the Mavericks, defeating them 7-0. On the men's side, Joey Sherney battled through #1 singles and squeaked out a 6-1 and 4-6 and 6-4 win. Sherney also paired up with Mateo Besada to take #1 doubles by a final of 6-2. The men took the match 6-1.
The baseball team took 6th Avenue to Lakewood to take on Colorado Christian. In Game 1, super slugger Matt Malkin connected for his 19th home run to lead his squad in the 7-3 Game 1 win. Austin Stone was stellar from the mound, going the full 9 innings, giving up just 3 earned runs to earn his 5th win on the season. The Roadrunners would go on to take 3 of 4 games in the series.
The outdoor track and field team ventured to Boulder to compete in the Corrado Invitational, where they took on some Division I opponents. Bree Wellington was the star on Saturday, competing in the 100-meter dash, the 200, and the high jump, and finished in the top 10 in all 3. You can find the rest of the results at roadrunnersathletics.com.
And finally, the women's golf team competed in the Mustang Intercollegiate in Goodyear, Arizona last week. The Roadrunners finished 17th overall and were led by Jennifer Hankins, who finished in a tie for 23rd overall. Sarah Hunt was in the 100th spot after Friday, but jumped all the way up to 74th after Saturday. Check out all the results on our website. So now we're going to welcome in head coach of our track and field team, Janis Christopher. Janis, thank you again for coming on tonight.
You're very welcome.
So you guys took part in the Colorado Invite in Boulder this past weekend, and there were a lot of Division I teams there.
Yes.
So what are some of the types of things with all the runners on your squad that are so young? What are some of the things that you try and do to pump them up against teams that are, up there in Division I?
I just remind them that whenever we enter them in the meet, we put them in at the times that they're capable of running, and that the people in those heats that they're actually physically running against, are the same, about the same level athletes as they are. So it doesn't matter if they're Division I or Division II or whatever, they belong in that heat, and that they can compete with them. And it really is kind of fun when they go out there and there's a Division I person in that heat and they might beat them, and it's really exciting for them, and it helps a lot with the confidence. So mainly we just remind them that they belong there.
So we like to hear.
So as a coach scheduling an event like this, what do you hope the Roadrunners get out of running against the top-notch competition? While you want them to experience that level of running, you also don't want them to get too down on themselves, right?
Right, absolutely, yeah. So that comes back to that whole thing, just reminding them that, just compete with the people inside of your heat. And sometimes some pretty great things happen, and, I think our women's one of our relay teams performed well enough that they not only beat everybody in their heat, but they beat some of the teams that were in a little bit faster heats, and we ended up, I think we ended up 8th place. So it's a confidence boost for them, really. Hopefully what you do going into a meet like that is help them to see that they belong there, that really if they just will focus on competing in their event and doing the best that they can do, that they're going to achieve the times that they're looking for and just gain a little bit of confidence.
That confidence is really what it's all about there. You know?
Absolutely.
Being able to compete with those people in Division I, you know,
Yes,
it's
yeah.
really nice feeling, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into the meet itself now, and we're going to bring headliner junior Bree Wellington into the mix. Bree competed in the 100-meter dash, the 200-meter dash, as well as a high jump, and she finished in the top 10 in all 3 of her events. And I guess she really wasn't intimidated by the competition because of that fact. What do you have to say about her and how she performed at this meet?
Bree is funny, I mean, because you would think that she's super confident, but really there are a lot of times that she kind of will doubt what she's capable of, and so the coach that works with her primarily is Jeremy Bubb, and he spends a lot of time helping her remember that she should be there and that she can compete with everybody there. So he's doing a good job helping her believe in herself a little bit. But you know, Bree is just such an amazingly talented athlete. She's so athletic that it's just, you know, it's just a matter of, you know, getting her out there and just getting the gun off and on her way. And then, you know, she will compete. She will compete, but getting her there to the line and helping her believe that she belongs there, sometimes that's a little bit tricky with her, believe it or not. Yeah, she can be a little bit, she can doubt herself a little bit sometimes.
So staying with the women, who else had a productive meet, or were there any like pleasant surprises that came out of it?
You know, I think that Tegan Garand is a freshman in the 400 meters, and she's really starting to come into her own. She ran mostly relays in that distance in high school and focused more on the shorter distances in the 100 and 200, and so she's starting to really build some confidence and starting to become quite the competitor in the 400 meters. So she had a season best time, but it was also the best time that she's run since she was a junior in high school. So that was a big meet for her, and what that did was build some confidence that then carried into what we saw in the women's 4x4, and they are just really coming together and starting to believe in themselves. And so I think that was another highlight for me. Someone that probably is not, you know, she's not super high in the results, but something that I want to point out that had a really good meet is Idalie Nunez. And she ran the 1500 and ran a personal best there, and then she came, or actually a season best there, and then she came back and she ran the 3000 meters, and she ran another personal best by 17 seconds. And so, you know, Idalie,
those are tough races.
Those are tough races.
Really
17
tough
seconds
races.
is a really a lot in a race like that. So she, you know, to see her, she's been working really hard for 3 years, and to see that hard work finally start to pay off, and to see her start to reach some goals that she's had and has struggled to sort of meet those goals, like that was a big moment for me to be able to talk to her about how proud I was of what she's accomplished, and so, you know, I'd like to say congratulations to Idalie.
Oh, congratulations! 100%. A 17-second difference is huge.
Over 2 miles, absolutely.
No matter what the race is, that's a drastic drop. So that is very impressive. Thank you for telling us about that.
Sure.
So a lot of fans out there may know about Alden Grudell,
yes,
and she's fantastic in cross country. She is a great competitor in the long distance races in track and field, but she competed as unattached in the Colorado Invite. Can you tell us a little bit about what being unattached means for an athlete?
Sure. So Alden is such a great talent for us, and so when she was a freshman, she didn't compete in the cross country, her first cross country season, and so she was a redshirt athlete that season. And so what that means is now she's got kind of like an offset thing where she would have less cross country seasons available than track seasons available. And so because our team is so young, we decided that it would be a good idea to have Alden redshirt and sit out the outdoor season so that she'll at least have 2 seasons her final year of school. So whenever you're a redshirt, you can still, as long as you're academically eligible, you can still compete as an unattached athlete. Right. So we had, we've been having Alden, and it's up to her as a redshirt whether she wants to do that or not. She decided that she wanted to run a couple meets, and so she ran last weekend at CU.
So as somebody who's unattached, do you still coach them personally, or is it kind of an at-will thing for them?
No, yeah, they still come to practice and they still do all the workouts with the team and so forth. As a redshirt, you're not allowed to travel with the team, and we cannot provide at the meet any specific coaching. It's called like providing extra to an athlete that is a redshirt. So we were not allowed to do that, but we are allowed to coach her prior to that, and we're allowed to talk to her whenever the meet is over and let her know how things went.
Got it.
Yeah.
So we saw some great performances from the men's team as well. Nick Nolan continues to thrive in his first year. Jacob Link had a provisional qualifying time in the 1500 meters. Give us your thoughts on the men's side.
Yeah, the men, those distance runners, they surprise us all the time. Nick, that was his first race back where I felt like he started to kind of get his legs back a little bit after coming out of the indoor season with the national meet and that extra fast training time. He took a little bit of time off, and so he's just really starting to get his legs back underneath of him. It was fun to see him out there competing in his race again. And Jake Link never ceases to amaze us with the way that he competes, and he's run some amazing times. So it was fun to see him get out there at CU and do what he does the best.
Well, Coach, it sounds like this season has already been shaping up to be amazing, and we thank you always for coming on the show and joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, it's about time for that break, but before we head into it, let's bring you the tweet of the week. It comes from the Colorado Rockies account, who tweeted about the Roadrunners 50-50 raffle that takes place every home game that the Rockies have. One lucky fan won a little more than $22,000 last Friday afternoon, and you can too when you purchase those 50-50 raffle tickets. So, when you're attending Rockies games, find the MSU Denver student athletes wearing the neon green shirts and the Roadrunners hats to get your tickets. The money you spend also goes toward the student athletes and their respective programs. It is now time for that break, but stay close. We're going to bring more up next on the Coach's Corner.
I'm Kyle Jones. I'm a junior this year on the cross country team. You're watching the Coach's Corner, and get rowdy.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Before we talk with Coach Van, we want to remind you that you need to become a Mug Club member today. Visit TivoliBrewingCo.com to become a member and start earning discounts on Tivoli Tap House brews. Donate a one-time fee based on your standing with the university and be a Mug Club member for life. Again, that website is TivoliBrewingCo.com. So now we're going to bring on head coach of the softball team, Annie Van Wetzinga. Annie Van Wetzinga, thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So we saw that your field got a little bit of a facelift a few weeks ago, which is super exciting. Can you tell us what's changed and kind of the type of pride you feel in having a brand new thing to use?
Yep. So we replaced all the padding that was out there. It was all kind of like a standard green color, kind of neutral. So what we did, administration, kind of Jared Otis led the way with it, is we got new padding because it needed to be replaced, but we put some branding in it. So we got it all branded out with Roadrunners logo, and we have our school colors out there. So everything really pops out there. It's really cool. Down our right field line, we have the big wall that's out there. So it says Roadrunners really big along there. So it's really cool. It looks, like I said, it's popping really nice. It always has felt like home and been a great facility, but you kind of add that stuff in there, and it's even elevates it even more.
It's in a great facility.
That's right.
Capital G.
That's right.
So your squad took part in the pod play at this past weekend. You first took on Black Hills State to kick it all off, while the Yellow Jackets jumped on the scoreboard first. Julia Heights and Lainey Shepard played heroes in the 8-5 win. How did that gameplay go out for you?
Yeah, little bit of a slow start for us, but it was good to see. Julia came in and really kept their hitters in check after falling behind early, and played some solid defense too. And then what was nice is in this bottom of the 6th inning, we finally kind of broke through offensively, and Lainey Shepard had the really big, huge key hit for us with the grand slam. And so we had the big inning there, and we're able to shut them down in the top of the 7th. So it was a good come from behind victory to start off the weekend.
All right, keeping along with the games, you played a very good team, Dixie State, and you played them twice. You played them tough, and you ended up splitting the series in the end. We've talked about Darby McGee many times.
Yeah.
She ended up holding the Trailblazers to only 3 runs scored in 14 innings. Is this, what you expected to see from this pitcher, or, is this a breakout thing that you kind of blindsided?
No, well, I think at this point in the season, and what Darby has done, we're in April now, and what she's done in the entire season, I'm not blindsided by it because I've watched her throw some great games against some good teams, and so I can't say I'm surprised, but at the same time, it's still like 2 awesome performances. She lost a tough one, won a tough one, and I think what's impressive is that she just put them back-to-back against the same team. So we finished Saturday night against Dixie with the tough loss, and then we turned around and we played them right away the next day at 11 a.m. and we decided to throw Darby out there again because she pitched great, and I think day 2 she almost pitched even better. She gave up a solo home run in the top of the 1st inning, and after that, nothing. Didn't give up anything, and to have a solid team see the same pitcher for 14 straight innings and you only give up, 3 runs, I think it was, over the 14 innings, that's pretty impressive. And that Dixie State, like I said, they're a solid program. They're in the postseason very consistently. So very mature and competitive and impressive performances by Darby.
Good team to play against, too.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
So another bright spot on the weekend was junior Megan Sanborn,
Yep.
who had a good weekend at the play and even in the field, making a dive grab in the final game.
Yeah.
Seems like her
Web
bat.
gem.
Yeah, it seems like her bat is picking up. Talk about her season and how important her bat will be heading down the stretch.
Yeah, Meg's starting to heat up. She's, she's been nursing all year, and actually towards the end of last season, a shoulder injury. And so, I think finally she's kind of getting her groove back. She had a nice kind of breakout season last year for us and was actually kind of a spark for us last season when some other people were kind of struggling to get their groove going. And so I think I see kind of what we had from her last year coming along now this season, which is nice, and it's definitely, this is a time of the year we need it. She had a big weekend up in Adams State in Alamosa last weekend, and I kind of had that feeling it was going to happen. She was having a really good week of hitting in practice, had the good games there, and then she carried it over this weekend also. So it's really good for Megan to work through that, and we need it as a team also because she runs really well too. She's fast, so she can do some good stuff for us on the bases.
So we talked with some of the players in the post-game interviews against Black Hills State, and we saw that there was a lot of disappointment coming from a tough loss like that. As a coach, what are some of the things that you're saying to them to try and get them, back at it after a tough loss like that,
Yeah. Well, I probably shouldn't say some of the stuff that I say to them here at the radio show.
Keep it PG.
Of course, for all the kids at home.
Exactly.
No, we were all disappointed. We come off a big win off Dixie State, like you said. We played really well again in the morning. You have the game break in the pod, and we wanted to go 3-1. We want to go 3-1 and win the series on the weekend, and Unfortunately, we didn't execute the way we were capable of offensively. We started nice, and then we kind of went flat, unfortunately. And to Black Hill's credit, they're a very scrappy team. They put the ball in play a lot. They have some bigger girls that if they connect, the ball's going to go. And ultimately, that's what happened. One of their bigger kids put a good swing on a ball and hit a 3-run home run, and that was the difference. And we just didn't respond the way we should have and could have. So it was disappointing after a nice win in the morning to finish on that note. But the players know that. And we talked about it, and hopefully, you know, we got to learn from it and finish the regular season strong.
So you get a chance at redemption fairly quickly, playing in a non-conference game on Tuesday night, taking on North End, Colorado, and Greeley. What do you hope the team gets out of this type of game against a Division I opponent?
Yeah, Division I, but for our approach, that's not going to change us. You know, we're looking to continue the stuff we want to continue. We want to continue to have more clutch hits, put people on base, and have people step up and drive in runs. You know, that's kind of been our Achilles heel a little bit. Like the game we lost just last night, we left 8 people on base. We need people to step up and drive in runs, and so that's what we're looking to do tomorrow, is to build off some of the stuff we have been doing a little bit better, but we have to do it consistently. And all 4 pitchers are going to throw tomorrow, so you know we want to get them some work in, and hopefully they're sharp in each of their outings.
All right, Coach. It is that time of the night.
For the quiz.
For exactly
All
pop
right.
quiz,
Pop
time
quiz.
for some Roadrunners trivia. For
Okay.
those of you at home who don't know what that is, once a week we try to stump one of our coaches with some questions about their particular sport and try and stump them. And for every question they get right, they get a point. And at the end of the year, we tally up the points, and the coach who has the most gets a pretty cool prize. So stay tuned till the end of the season. For you, Coach,
All right.
are you ready
Yeah,
for the question?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. Which Roadrunner pitcher has the most wins in program history? Is it A, Cassidy Smith, B, Christy Robinson, or C, Aubrey Mall?
It's A.
Correct. We got 1 point so far.
Okay, Coach, so we have a bonus question for you. How many wins did Cassidy have? And if you're close, we'll give you the point.
How many wins did Cassidy Smith have? That's the question.
Got to give you a hard one.
I think Cassidy Smith had 52 wins.
The answer is 61.
Ah, sorry, Cass. I thought I was a little low. She pitched a lot. She was a 4-year starting pitcher. And she went to postseason 3 times. She had a very good career. Yeah.
That was a tough question,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
He wants to stump you on the bonus one for sure.
Always. Leave it to Eric.
Well, Coach Van, as always, it's amazing to have you on this show, and we wish you the best of luck here in
Thank
Greeley
you.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Time for that next break, but stick around. We've got another softball player coming up next on the Coach's Corner.
Family-owned Argonaut Wine and Liquor is Colorado's largest superstore. A fixture of Denver for over 45 years, Argonaut has always been the go-to place for liquor, wine, and beer. Whatever you need for that special occasion, big party, or quiet night, Argonaut has it. It's one-stop shopping for all of your beverage needs. We have over 40,000 square feet of space and more than 15,000 items. That's the largest selection in town at the best prices. Plus, we deliver, and parking is free. Join our preferred shopper program to save even more. ArgonautLiquor.com, your liquor superstore for every occasion.
I'm Ashley Kim, senior second baseman for the softball team.
Have the power, they have the ability to do so, and the diving stop by Kim gets there in time. What a play there by the senior.
And you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
Welcome back. Before we chat with Rebecca right here, we want to remind you that you need to tune into RoadrunnersAthletics.com. It is home for MSU Denver sports, and you can keep up with scores, schedules, highlights, interviews, player bios, features, stories, and more. So if you want to see the latest stolen base from Rebecca, you can see those highlights at RoadrunnersAthletics.com. So now we welcome in Rebecca Gonzales. Rebecca, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
So when Coach said that you were going to be on today's show tonight, did you think in your head, I finally made it as an athlete for freshman year. I can finally move on?
I'm kind of just nervous, I guess, and yeah, that too.
It's all right. We all feel nervous. Cameras in the face.
Yeah.
It's all right. We always, if you feel nervous, you can start asking us questions.
Okay.
No worries. We can make this you the host.
So you're having a great freshman year with the Roadrunners. You are the only player who has started all 40 games for the team this season. Did you think you would be playing every game as a freshman and seeing the success come so quickly?
I kind of just, I'm just trying to, work my butt off and just see where it goes. So, I mean, I didn't really expect anything as it was, so.
Well, you're a pretty impressive athlete. So just for some context for the audience, Rebecca is going to be leading the team in batting average. She's second in base hits, doubles, RBI, and stolen bases. So when we're saying that you had a great year, we mean that you're having a great year. How have you dealt with the types of pressure of playing at this level? I know being a college athlete must be really stressful for you on top of college,
Right. I kind of just go back to the basics. Just keep my approach at the plate and everything, just kind of breathe. I don't really put too much pressure on myself as it is, so I kind of just do me, and I don't put too much pressure on myself as it is.
I get that.
How's your schedule though? Is it pretty busy or?
Yeah, is your college schedule busy? What are your classes like?
Yeah, it's pretty busy. I mean, I'm taking my undergrad credits, so I'm in a music class. That's pretty fun, yeah.
What kind of music class are you taking?
It's just like an intro to music class. So it's like the history of music. It's
that's gotta be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love music.
Are you a history buff too? Do you like the history of music?
Yeah, I'm more of a music person, so.
You know what? I'm more of a music person too, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
History is not my forte.
Not mine either.
Did not get an A+ in every history class, I will say that.
Yeah.
All right.
So we know that Coach Van is sitting not too far from us here at the Tap House, but talk to us about her coaching style and how she has helped you in your transition to college.
She's really helped me, I mean, I've always had a tough coach. She's really tough, which I like that. I like a coach who gets on me. So, I'm always, I always know what I'm, need to work on and stuff. So I like a coach who gets on me.
Is she the type of coach that tells you exactly what you need to improve on, and then that's what you get done during that week of practice?
Some of the times she lets us figure it out on ourselves, on our own, which I like to with my hitting. So, I don't need someone telling me all the time what I need to do.
You're like, I'm already a master at this. No. Come on now. So you're actually a local kid from here in Colorado. You grew up in Highlands Ranch and you went to Mountain Vista High School. Were there any reasons why you decided to come here to MSU Denver to play softball and also go to college? Or was it just kind of a whim?
I honestly think, Metro is the perfect fit for me. I like the diversity here, so that's a huge reason why I came here. And I also like the fact that it's close to home, that my mom and dad can come watch me play. That's huge for me.
Do they come and watch all your games?
Yeah, I don't think they've missed one game yet.
Oh, that's so exciting. Are they watching this tonight?
Did you tell them you were going to be on TV?
Yeah, I did tell them, so maybe they're watching.
Hi, Rebecca's parents. She's on TV. She's doing great.
Yes. So speaking of school, and we know you're only a freshman, but tell us what you are currently majoring in and what the dream job is since you graduate.
I'm majoring in accounting right now, and I'm looking to hopefully go to the military after college, but hopefully I don't know yet with that. I'm still up with that, and if not, then I'll just be an accountant somewhere.
Do you like number crunching then? Is that like your forte, is mathematical stuff?
Yeah, I like math.
You like math?
Yeah.
Okay. Half of my friends like math, and then the rest of us do communication. That's what I have to say about that.
I didn't like math or science. No.
I stopped at calc. I couldn't go any further, I'll be honest. So can you tell us how you developed your love of softball? Was it always something that you liked to do, or was it something that you grew into?
When I was little, I used to be a dancer, and I hated that. I was like, Mom, please just put me in something else. So I asked her to put me in T-ball, and I loved it there. So.
What kind of dance were you doing? What kind of, was this ballet?
Yeah, I was doing ballet, and I did not like it at all. So.
Not the tutu type, no.
Yeah.
I get that. So we've seen you in center field, we've seen you in right field, but have you played any other positions in softball?
Yeah, I used to play first base because I'm left-handed, so.
Oh, lefty, me too. Hey.
Yeah.
I'm left-footed.
Hey. All us lefties. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Not many lefties that we hear about, at least not later in the seasons.
So you're a freshman playing a lot this season, but you're not the only freshman. We've seen the Shepherd twins get a lot of reps. Julia Heights from the circle. You're all growing up together. Do you feel that this season has been easier to deal with knowing others are going through the same things as you are?
Oh yeah, totally. You know, we have I think 8 freshmen, so we're all super tight, and it's helped a lot, especially you know, like with the schedule and everything. It's helped a lot going through it with them because we're always together, even at the dorm stuff. We're always together.
I was really lucky that you have, such a young group because you're able to grow as a team through those years.
Yeah.
It'll be really nice to see how it develops throughout these next years for us, at least. We're not the ones playing, but I'm sure you guys will do really great in the coming years. So what's a message from Coach going forward? So you guys have 3 weeks left in the regular season. The playoffs are right around the corner. What are some of the things that she's telling you guys this late in the season?
Just like in games, just get the spark early and just stay consistent with our hitting.
Is that what she tells you? Stay consistent? I bet she does.
Yeah, and stay sharp with the defense.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Let's have her ask us the question. How about you ask us the question?
Who is your all-time favorite football players? Mine is Robert Gronkowski.
Okay, well,
I don't really watch football, so.
I'm going to be really, boring. John Elway is, my main go-to. I went to the training camps in the 90s when he was playing, and so he's one of the players that I remember the most, at least, football player-wise.
I'll say Team Tebow, but
Tim Tebow, there you go, Tim Tebow. We know Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, great question. She could already be a host. She might be nervous. Nah. She's like, it's just like ballet. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Well, Rebecca, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
It was great. So before we get out of here, we want to bring you guys what's coming up this next week in Roadrunner Sports. Rebecca and her squad will take on Division I Northern Colorado Tuesday night for a single game. Then they'll head south to Durango to take on the Skyhawks from Fort Lewis College on a 4-game set. The baseball team will be back at the Regency Athletic Complex this weekend, hosting Dixie State for 4 games. Game 1 will take place this Friday under the lights, so come on out and support Coach Strain and the baseball squad, who have their sights set on winning the RMAX regular season championship.
Coach Christopher and her outdoor track and field team will head to Golden, Colorado to take part in the Kent Mayer Invite. That meet will take place over Friday and Saturday of this week. Our tennis teams will also be in action as they'll head to Pueblo to take on CSU Pueblo, when they'll head back to Denver to battle Colorado College back at home at the rack. So a lot going on, as you can keep up with all of them at roadrunnersathletics.com.
So that's going to wrap up another episode of the Coaches Corner. We, of course, would love to thank the coaches for coming on, as well as Rebecca. Of course, Brenda, thank you for joining me as a host. For Brenda Vazquez, I'm Catherine Neitenbach. We'll see you next time on the Coaches Corner.